The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it appears...
I told him at noon exactly, didn't I? You there? I'm looking for an inmate. Have you seen him? None of your business, inmate.
Hey, mister. It's a lot nice. I'm sure glad some of the others made it out alive too. Saw one of... Adults always want to talk. Can't I just play here with my shells a while? One, two, long get of the crew. 3, 4, pretty shells on the shore. I never want to set foot on a stuffy old boat ever again. Never! One, two, long get of the crew. 3, 4, pretty shells on the shore. Now where shall I put this one? One, two, long get of the crew. Adults always... I never want to set foot on a stuffy old boat ever again. Never!
Junk.
Ooh, that's a pretty one.
Imagine having the gall to want 100 generations gazing at your own face.
You can stay out here with me if you...
What's this? I found something. I wonder where this leads.
You walk up to a skeleton unlike any you have ever seen before. His skull seems to approach him. You hear a profane
Bugger. How on earth am I
skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents.
Damnation. That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor? Ah! No! Oh, it's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected. It seems the human that stole my mask was rather more... I chased her here, but she rather seems...
He turns back to the body, prodding at its face cautiously.
Oh, yes. An exceptionally... A face that seems rather stubbornly... I would normally employ a tool to delicate... I could then craft a mask to hide...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting...
Because my own was stolen from me! Oh, get... You are so, if I am to traverse this land, I will need a mask to disguise my features. Oh, don't be ridiculous. I cannot simply sit about waiting for the rest... Indeed. I may be the... At least from this realm. As for the others... Well... There is an excavation site at the... I suppose. Circumstance. You seem more... at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly... Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that, of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality. But being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, shall we get on? Splendid. Very well.
Did you see 'em? You did, right? Those claws. Wonder what's behind the masks, too. Can't be pretty. That, Magister, that was Bishop Alexander, leader of the Divine Order, and his right hand, Dallas.
The Magister looks at you sideways.
Now, why don't you move along and settle in? A Magister will come and find you when they're ready.
Saw 'em, didn't you? The Hammer and Alexander. They gave that scaly traitor what for, they did. 'Tis a misfortune, brother. You lot can't help your condition, but at least the humans of you ain't celebrating the Source Plague. Bishop's a son of the dead, and the Hammer's a solid sort. Don't take no... When you give up the darkness that's inside you, they're working on a cure for you even now. Got us touring the time of Lucian, of course. Who wouldn't join up with God himself when we lost him? Well, it only made sense to see his will through. Can't for certain. But I reckon when God himself gives his life to protect you, you don't... So that's what we do.
Come on, then, Leslie. Lay up.
I find only bread. Oh, this is not your business, long pig.
Don't let this moss muncher talk to you like that. Especially a pay up, elf. No one shorts griff. Especially not one of you. Everyone in camp's got to contribute.
Food? Protection? I have neither.
Runs the kitchen. Means he runs me, you, and everyone else in camp. I ain't gonna say it.
No.
You elves always wanna...
I don't feel so good. You gonna pray all day, buddy? You gonna pray all day, buddy?
Follow me. Before more of there is a safe place.
As you approach the blacksmith, you feel a bony hand on your arm. Fane leans in and whispers in your ear.
If it would be acceptable, I have and if it would not be acceptable, well, that...
Fane approaches the blacksmith and quietly speaks to her. You can't overhear Fane's words are quiet, but you hear the blacksmith repeat, "Face Ripper?"
What is it with creeps like you and Master Niles? I told...
Fane backs away, scratching his head. It seems that didn't go as he'd expected. He is lost in...
Leave me. Go. You
She groans. The dog focused...
A little reprieve from the din outside.
No one tells me there are so many children in this Fort Joy. Your kind I handle, but small ones stay in this cave a while longer. Provoke
The young girl's eyes are...
Ah, hello. Quite the blood-soaked journey has led you here. I see it before my eyes.
Wary all of a sudden, she takes...
I cannot offer you much more than my sympathies. Our fates are in...
You are in the wrong place, Pinky. Fear? Pity, perhaps. A blind wolf may lead the pack. If you shared in a heritage so fine as ours, but never mind that. If you need to suit up, I can...
The Queen's beard. It looks like you lost a fight with a claw hammer. Reckon you're in need of something to heal yourself up, eh? Colour me unimpressed, you old brew. It's always the braggarts who cry the hard.
Instead of a potion, she hands you an empty bottle and a fat brown mushroom.
Not scared of a little elbow grease, are you? Once you've mastered the technique, you'll never need help from a crusty old quack like me again. Dane's as stubborn as an old steer. Says he don't. Still, my job ain't to judge business, Safi. Don't be profane.
Is that thing eating corpses?
The creature heaves through lips gummed with human gore. It turns to you with great effort.
You. Quite lost now. A little query. Where grows the yarrow? Quickly now, for I haven't much...
The creature gingerly takes the plant into his bloodied hands.
Darling, dear darling child. Hello, yarrow girl.
The creature begins to weep. Fast.
For you, my ring, part of... You, what, go? Name of Migo, come out of Arx. My daughter's a magister. Pretty-haired yarrow girl. Told you, didn't I? They crossed my wires, hammer goes clang, and then clang, clang. Horrible old sadist. Filled...
It's been too long, my dear.
Amid the squalor of Fort Joy, you suddenly spot an elf with diamond features. She was among the sorcerers with whom you fought. Her eyes are focused on a lizard some distance away, and you get the distinct feeling he's an unfortunate man indeed to be trapped in her tiger-like cage. She freezes under your stare for a moment, then whirls and grabs you in a strangle.
You caught me off guard. No one catches me off guard. Who are you? You can see quality, but lone wolves.
A push, a pivot, and now you suddenly face her. The needle still, despite the precariousness of your situation, you notice a flaw in her diamond features. A curiously shaped scar on her left cheek.
Because it is my desire to question him. You see, once upon a bad old, but now I'm free. Of sorts. I intend to raise the subject with him.
She drives the needle in.
In truth, it does not matter in the least who you really are. You saw me. That makes you a liability. That makes you needle feed.
A bright sparkle.
Ha! How amusing. I admit, make your case and do it quickly. Why should I join you? Escape. How you do tickle me. Oh, little needle mine, what should I do? You know what? Today is a rather fine day. Sunshine and I'm not quite sure the way.
With a casual flick of the wrist, she
Let's discuss our Yumi and Death will be playing many a round of hide and seek. As a rogue, my speciality suits me fine. Lead on, or better yet, let me take the lead. Then follow me.
You're not quite certain you'll ever sleep soundly with Sabine in any sort of problem.
So this is Fort Joy.
I know that look well enough. You're about to pop, ain't ya? Why don't you enter? You'll find out.
Hmm? Oh, excuse me.
Leave him be.
Listen,
Shut up, elf. Perhaps it goes bleeding forward,
do excuse me, ever so tired. Do excuse me, ever so tired.
Just as you're about to address the lizard...
This man is a dreamer. As you know, I need a word with him. You may wait here while permission in...
He bids the dreamer stand up and pay attention, which the dreamer then chews and swallows a handful of Drudene leaves. He falls asleep. To your surprise, the Red Prince lies down, and the Red Prince pinches the bridge of his nose in apparent irritation before turning his back on the jabbering dreamer. You receive a withering glance.
A deserved bit of sarcasm, I suppose. But though this sting-tailed fellow may be a less than... Turns out I'm being hunted by an enemy I didn't know. The dreamers, though, they're on my side. And they've visions of me on the throne. Of course it is. But to keep it, I must find a second dreamer. Bahara is her name, and she resides in the swamplands.
No, I could tell you all about swamp dreamers too, if I chewed that much Drudene.
Oh, do hold your prickly tongue.
As you're about to approach the lizard, Sabine cups your chin between...
Listen, I need to have a chat with this him.
To your surprise, Sabine proceeds to throttle the unsuspecting lizard with one hand as she drives... You hear him yelp about the master, lone wolves, and a man called Griff. Then, quite suddenly, there's blood everywhere as Stingtail falls. Sabine heaves a sigh of satisfaction.
Chat's over.
Demon elf, how dare you strike down a dreamer?
Such is my prerogative, Prince. And doubly so, my pleasure. Something on your mind? It's simple. He scarred me, so I scarred him.
She defies you with devilishly...
Can you blame me? Justice tends to be... Anyway, what's dead is done, so let's move on, shall we? Despite my high hopes, the search for the Master continues, of course. Stingtail mentioned a cook, as it happens. A fellow named...
Here you are. I wonder what keeps you. We are unfamiliar, yet familiar. So tell me your tale. Start from the beginning. Start from where you come. I see. Now tell me more. I understand. Now tell me how your story ends. A heavy burden to walk and take this rope. It is a gift. It is nothing. Many fragments.
The woman looks out on the gently lapping waves.
Haven't seen you around here before. Well, don't worry. You here alone?
She gives you a...
Maybe you ought to give those companions of you. Maybe they mean something to you after all. It's nothing. Used to be I had a family, then they brought us here. I couldn't stop. Now I'm just waiting for him to call.
Her eyes sparkle.
Kind of you to ask. Stefan?
She talks for some time about birthdays, joy radiates from her as she remembers. She plays...
What a gift to think of them. I'd like to give something to you, too. Take care of yourself. You hear? You're a sweet one.
Ha! I found you, didn't I? Red, they said. Red, then dead. Not an attempt, mate. Time's up, Your Highness. Let's dance. It's stabbing time.
Hurts, doesn't it? You're not trying to escape, are you?